to Ill-Equipped History spooky episode. Y'all, it's that time of year.
It's finally getting cold.
I know, I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now. I've had my doors and windows open for the past week. Thank goodness it's been beautiful, perfect weather. Because I've been ripping out my floors, and
it's finally happening.
Ventilation. It's finally happening. Is it taking me like 4 or 5 days longer than I anticipated because the backer board under my tile was so well adhered that it's coming off in little chunks, and I had to get power tools. Yes. But it's okay. It's going to be worth it. Side note, if you're one of the men that watched my TikTok and got angry at me for various reasons, I'm not apologizing for anything. I accidentally went viral because I posted a video of the backer board and the shit popped off. As of right now, it's got like 16,000 views, which is a lot for me. Mm-hmm. Lots of men very angry at my existence, and some of them are real funny. And most of y'all were actually really nice. But
there's always some haters.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these comments are saying things like, man, that tile was really installed well. Whoever built your house did a great job. And I'm like, that's not helping me out at all. I don't feel better. Because it's hard to get up because they did a good job. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that. Right. I don't really know what to do with it, with all this information, other than I needed a roto hammer. I figured that out, guys. You don't have to comment it anymore. You don't. Anyway, Morgan, you were having way more fun than I was. I need you to tell me about it.
So first up, I just got back from camping at Norris Dam, which was amazing, incredible, beautiful.
Perfect weather for it.
I'm my gosh. It never got above 75. It was like perfect skies every day. The weather got down to like 50 every night, so it was nice and cool, perfect for fire. The only complaint we had is that the dew point was insane.
Oh, yeah.
Everything, I mean, and we're right next to a dam, so it makes sense. And we're like, yeah, wet. It's like 70% humidity. We get it, but everything was drenched every morning. But thankfully we had plenty of tarps. So that was beautiful.
You gotta get tarps.
Yes, we had plenty of tarps. Yes. And then last night, so I got back from camping at 3 p.m. Mm-hmm. And then 3 hours later, I went with my mom and my sister because for her birthday, yesterday was her birthday, I bought her tickets to the Jonas Brothers concert in Nashville.
That's crazy.
I know. I had planned it since like March when I saw it on a billboard. I was like, holy crap, they're playing on her birthday. I have to get her tickets for her birthday. And so when I bought them on Ticketmaster, they were resale only, had been sold out.
Wow.
And they were nosebleeds, like way up high. But they were less than $100 a piece. So I feel like I got a really good deal. They're like $95 each, which for nosebleeds, not great. But if you know Bridgestone Arena and how expensive tickets can be. So we get there and we're a little late. Also, their opener was All American Rejects.
I'm sorry. Did you go to the most perfect concert?
I think so.
What the fuck?
It was awesome. So we get there and my mom's like, because we're using the bathroom, like they had to use the bathroom, and Dirty Little Secret comes on. And so I walk out, like where we were at was like behind the stage. So I just walked out because I wanted to hear them because it's hard to hear in the hallway. And when they came out, I was like, sorry, I just had to go listen because one of my favorite songs by them was playing. And my mom was like, we should go sneak in somewhere. And I was like,
your mom is wild.
Chaotic.
I love her so much.
Chaotic. When you look up shenanigans in the dictionary, my mom's picture is right next to it.
Mama's there.
Yes. So she's like, let's try to sneak in somewhere. So we go to the box level.
Uh-huh.
Where all of like the VIP boxes are. And I'm like, I've lived with my mom my entire life. And I just know, go along with her plan. Don't say anything. If anything happens, she can like at least talk her way out of major consequences.
Really good at that. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just like acting, I have my beer in my hand and we're just acting like we belong. My sister, on the other hand, is terrified. Like, she's like, we're gonna get kicked out of Bridgestone. So we ended up going into this one suite because my mom was like checking all of them and she's like, let's do this one. I was like, okay, that's weird. We go in and the people are like in the box and they're having fun, and we're like, there's like seats at like a little bar area overlooking the stage. And she's like, let's just stay here. And I was like, you know what? Like, if they kick us out, whatever. But these are really good seats. And I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to enjoy. And again, let my mom handle it because my mom is chaos. And my sister is so scared. She won't even sit down. She's not allowing herself to enjoy anything. And then finally, my mom lets it slip that she knows the guy who owns the box. And they spoke about it earlier in the day. She was like, hey, I want to play a prank on my daughters. And
you were just going to roll with it.
Listen, I know my mom, okay? One, you cannot talk her out of an idea. It won't happen. And two, again, she's got a mouth on her. And if we got in trouble, you know, we would have dealt with the consequences.
One thing you don't do is mess with your mom's daughters.
Right.
And I for sure know that even if you guys did get in trouble, y'all were not going to jail. Y'all were not doing anything. It wasn't. No. It's fine.
If anything, we probably would have just gone to our original seats that I purchased.
Yeah.
So we're hanging out in the box. Everything's fine. Everything's great. We finished listening to All American Rejects and then the Jonas Brothers come on. It's great. And my mom's friend knows someone that like works there. And like one of the people in the box got to get like really close with the guy that works there. Like not ground level, but like really close to the stage. And that was really cool. And then we watched a few more songs and my mom's friend's like, hey, come with me. And we're like, okay. And they take us to the ground level and we're just kind of walking around.
Yeah.
And then we end up finding empty seats and we just stay on the ground level.
Oh my God.
I had to send you the pictures, Emily, that I took also of my sister's face because she was so happy. I'll send you the one of my sister first. And then I'll show you how close we were.
Oh my God, look at your sister.
She's so happy.
Oh my God, and that's your mom, half of your mom's face right there.
Yes. She kept going, it's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
I'm pretty sure I made eye contact with Nick Jonas.
Look at oh my God. They're right there.
They're right there. I could see Nick Jonas's whites of his eyes.
That's amazing.
Yes. And then
It's
I
her
really
birthday.
It's her birthday. She kept trying to like
literally hear it.
my mom was not able to get their attention. Obviously. And then the last song was When You Look Me in the Eyes, and they brought like their other brother and their parents, and it was really beautiful, but I had to pee like a motherfucker. And so did my mom. So we ended up leaving, using the bathroom, and then I have a secret way out of Bridgestone.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like a hidden secret. Other people are using it too, but it's like a back exit that cuts right across the street from the convention center where we parked. So instead of having to walk all the way around on Broadway and everything.
Yeah.
And we found a really great parking spot somehow, like right in the front by the exit. And then when we were leaving, the arm wasn't going down for us to pay, so we just left the parking garage.
Okay, so you spent less than $300 for 3 of you to go. You got box seats, then you got borderline front row seats, and then you skedaddled and then left without having to pay for parking.
Yes. And we got free food earlier because we went to one of my mom's accounts, and they gave us free beer and food.
Can I move in with your mom? Because she has, like, I need your luck. I need all of your luck.
It's all my mom.
Vibes.
It's not mine. It's my mom. And then, like, my mom's friend who has a friend that works at Bridgestone, she's like, that's my new best friend. And we're going to exchange numbers. And we're going to see what hookups he can get us in the future.
Okay. Holler. I love you, Mom. God.
I just had to share because it was wild, and I was like, okay, we're just going along for the ride, and if anything happens, we'll deal with it. But by the time we got, like, to the front row, or, like, the ground level, like, the concert was more than halfway over, so I don't think anyone really cared that we were there.
All right, so, enough about pissing off half the men on the internet and your amazing fall break. Let's get into today's episode.
Let's do it after 10 minutes of talking.
We would say we're sorry, but we're not. So.
Never are.
Okay. It's 1885 in a little town of San Jose, California. A middle-aged widow walks onto her front porch of her new home after the realtor hands her the keys.
Here you are, Mrs. Winchester. It's all yours.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to get started.
Started? Started on what?
Well, construction.
Pardon me for asking, but what will you be constructing?
More house.
More house? But you live alone, and this is an already big house.
Yes, I do. And yes, it is.
Well, then, why do you need more house?
I think it would be fun to add on. Don't you think? Maybe a ballroom to the left and a spire to the right. And I can make it as tall as I want. Oh, and elevators and electricity. For sure, electricity.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Winchester. I don't quite understand.
Oh, please call me Sarah. We've been over this. And electricity is when you have these wires.
Yes, I know what electricity is. But why are you building all of this?
With a wink, she says, oh, for the ghosts, of course. Ooh. Okay, again, we took creative liberty with the skit. And I was kind of sad when I looked into this episode because it is the Winchester House. If you don't know what it is like quintessential spooky architecture, and we'll get into why. But I'm going to say from the beginning that a lot of these stories that you're going to hear on, I mean, I don't want to call out other podcasts, but kind of, yeah, on other platforms, it's based a lot on legend. So we're a history podcast, so of course we're going to get into the spooky because it's spooky season, and I think this is a perfect topic. But we're going to get into the actual history. And,
I love it.
Kind of dig through the legends. We will talk about the legends, though, because I can't not talk about them.
Exactly.
So, and Morgan, I do have pictures today,
Yay.
So go me. Yay. So the Winchester house, let's talk about it. But before we talk about the house itself, we have to talk about the Winchesters. Now, the Winchesters, you might be familiar with the name. Mm-hmm. The pew-pews, the guns. It is those Winchesters. So William Wirt Winchester, he was born in 1837. And he was born in Baltimore, Maryland. And he was the only son of Oliver Winchester and his wife that I cannot think. I think it's Elle Winchester. Oliver was the inventor of the Winchester automatic rifle. So the gun that won the West, basically. Right. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. But know that William is the only son of Oliver Winchester. And Sarah Lockwood Pardee was born in 1839, 2 years younger than William. And she was born in New Haven, Connecticut. They were married September 30th of 1862. So, Civil War. Mm-hmm. And in 1866, they would have one daughter, Annie Pardee Winchester. Unfortunately, Annie passed away just 5.5 weeks after her birth from marasmus, which is a form of malnutrition.
That's sad.
Yeah. And then just 3 years later, in 1869, her father dies.
Oh.
Sarah's father.
Sarah's father, okay.
Sarah's father, yes. So then, fast forward in 1873, the Winchester Model 73, the one that is known as the gun that won the West, is released, making the Winchesters super rich.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Oh, my God. The most rich. Just 7 years later, both her mother, Sarah's mother, and her father-in-law, Oliver, would die in 1880.
Oh, my goodness.
Leaving. Yeah, so in December of 1880, her father-in-law, Oliver, dies, leaving the company to William. But then 3 months after William inherited the company, William dies from tuberculosis.
Holy shit.
So he was only 43.
Oh, man.
So that would leave Sarah a widow at 41 years old. She inherits $20 million in 1881 and nearly 50% of the Winchester's repeating arms stock.
Damn.
This woman had more money than she knew what to do with.
Did you look up $20 million?
I did not.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Please do. And while you're doing that, she took some of that money and established the William Wirt Winchester Hospital in West Haven for the treatment of tuberculosis in her husband's honor. It is now the Veterans Administration Hospital, and they've renamed a private pavilion at Yale New Haven Hospital in his honor. So he still has something in his honor, for sure. Okay, how much is $20 million?
$635,247,058.
Holy fuck.
And that's just like liquid and like assets, right? Like that's not including all the stock that she inherited as well.
Right. That was just she got $20 million plus half of the stocks of the trade. So she's still getting money coming in.
That's insane.
So then, just a few years later, in 1884, her sister dies.
Oh my God.
So between, and again, this is the 1800s, so this isn't an isolated incident, but between 1866 and 1884, she lost her only child, her father, her mother, her husband, her father-in-law. I didn't mention her mother-in-law and her sister.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Yeah. This woman cannot catch a break other than,
No.
Money.
Yeah.
But apparently they had a very good 19 years of marriage. And
Aw.
that's just sad.
It's
just
so sad. I can't imagine losing like your entire family in less than 20 years.
Yeah. And she did come from a larger family, so I believe she was one of, I think, 6 kids. So there were,
Okay. She
had other siblings, and William had 2 sisters as well. So she had in-laws. But in 1885, Sarah moves to California from New Haven, Connecticut, and we'll get into possible reasons why. But she had been to California before. So this picture that we see of her, it's a very famous picture of her, is actually taken in California
Okay.
while her husband was still alive, because the Winchester Rifle Company had opened a location in California, so that they had traveled over there as kind of like, ambassadors for the company.
Right.
And so that picture was taken in California. If I had to guess, she just liked it over there. And if she's going to be alone, she might as well be somewhere she likes to be.
It's warm. It's sunny.
Yeah.
By the ocean.
The cold is not good on your bones, so
It's not.
I don't blame her. So she moves to California, and by 1886, the following year, obviously it takes time to buy a house, but she purchases a very quaint 2-story farmhouse near San Jose, which we do, as of like 7 years ago, have a picture of the original structure.
That's incredible.
Which is really cool.
It's
so pretty.
It's a beautiful house.
It is speculated there are 2 people in that picture. The one on the right sitting down, they're thinking is Sarah. And in her life, she went by Sarah formally, but I think most people called her Sally. And on the left, people are thinking that it's Daisy, her niece, who we'll see come in a bit. But
On the horse?
on the horse, yeah.
Okay.
It's such a cute house. I couldn't imagine doing anything with it, but, to it.
Right.
But this house came with 161 acres, and she named it the Lanata Villa.
Wow.
Lanata Villa. So within the first few months, she had already added on more than a dozen rooms with the intention of accommodating her sisters and their families. So she's still very family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
She designed all of the additions on her own and didn't have any formal training. And between 1886 and 1922, construction was almost always going on. There were, spurts here and there where there wasn't any, but basically being constructed on the entire time. So in 1888, only 2 years after moving to California, Marion, or Daisy Merriman, moved to Lanata Villa to live with her aunt. And she would live with her aunt for the next 15 years.
Wow.
Apparently this was Sarah's favorite niece.
Oh.
So good for her. Now, I know we said that from 1886 to 1922, construction almost never stopped. Let me regale you what it was that was being built in this 36 years or however long that is. I'm not doing math right now. Well, it's a 24,000 square foot house. Now, 24,000, not 100. 1,000. It has 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 160 rooms, 40 of those are bedrooms, 52 skylights, 47 stairways and fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, 6 kitchens, and she had electricity, which was unheard of, and 5 elevators.
That is insane.
The estimated cost obviously it's hard to tell because it happened over such a long span of time, but they estimated it to be $5 million in 1923. So that was $71 million today.
That's crazy. And it's still just like a drop in the bucket compared to her fortune.
Oh, yeah. She was just like willy-nilly. And very few people, aside from her family and the staff, the household staff, and like obviously the carpenters and workmen that were coming to build this, really were ever invited into the house. It's not like she had lavish parties or had tons of people coming in. There was like one account that she was like corresponding with her sister-in-law, and her sister-in-law was like, when would be a good time to come and visit California for the weather and stuff like that? And Sarah was like, I'm really just not settled enough to have visitors yet. She'd been living in California for 10 years at this point.
So she's reclusive.
Yes. I don't think in a bad way.
Yeah.
Not like reclusive and you think, oh, it's like, you know, she just wanted to live a quiet, private life.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just didn't like her sister-in-law. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, she has 40 bedrooms, you know, but not enough room for her sister-in-law, apparently.
No. Apparently no house is big enough to have your sister-in-law in. It's like you could live in that house and not see each other for 4 days.
Yeah. You could have like your own separate house, like with your own kitchen, your own, like, you said there was what, 5 kitchens?
6. Pick
6.
one. Like, have like, you could have a literal ball, and still nobody. Yeah.
Right.
So in February 24th of 1895, the San Francisco Chronicle published the very first known written story about Sarah Winchester and her home. This would continue. It's, you know, yellow journalism, so sensational journalism, where this is the first instance of somebody saying that she's building this house to avoid her own death.
Yeah.
And we'll get into why. Mm-hmm. She would never publicly respond as to why she was building the house like this. Mm-hmm. So the story kind of perpetuated.
Right. Like, you don't have the persons justifying themselves, so people are going to speculate.
Yes. And we have to remember the time of history this is as well. But before we get into how these legends persist, let's get into why was she building a house like that? Why? What's she doing? So, and I'm going to start this off with this. Legend has it that apparently after her husband's death, she went to Boston. She saw a medium. And during this seance, if you want to hear about seances, go to last week. The medium said that he spoke with her husband, and her husband came through and said that she was cursed, just like the rest of the family, because the guns they made had killed so many people. Mm-hmm. And that basically the ghosts were going to come get her. And she asked, like, how do we make this stop? And the medium was like, move to California. Build a lavish home. Lavish, so only the good ghosts come. Right. Because bad ghosts don't like fancy things too.
Yes, apparently.
I guess. But anyway, sorry, I'm trying to build a scene here. Build a lavish house and continuously build on this house. And build it in a way that the ghosts will get lost and they can't find you. And if you build a room for every ghost to live in, they won't get you, basically.
Okay.
And for some reason, it has to be out west. I don't know why. Maybe it's because, like, it's the gun that won the West. So you got to go west.
The
where the ghosts are.
really like the dry climate
They
in
do.
California.
You don't want a wet ghost. A cold ghost. It's just like, I'm just imagining like a wet sheet floating.
Like a soggy, like, move to
instead of
California.
instead of going boo, they go ew. So, apparently, this is why she moves to California. And legend has it, she continued to have seances. And during these seances, the spirits would tell her what to build in the house. And also, apparently, she slept in a different room every night, so the ghosts couldn't find her. They didn't know where she was. Mm-hmm. Big emphasis on legend has it, guys.
Yes.
So that is the main legend story. There are kind of other versions. Other versions is that she was being haunted at the family mansion in New Haven. So she moved to California just for them to like follow her. So she started building to outsmart the ghosts.
Yeah.
Historians have not been able to corroborate any visit with a medium. Mm-hmm. And a lot of Sarah's lifelong employees and friends and family even denied any of that happened during her lifetime. Mm-hmm. It's more likely that her father had been a carpenter during the height of the Victorian period. So she grew up loving like design and architecture and loving what her father did. So she just subscribed to a lot of magazines and journals on architecture and design and taught herself the craft. Along with a lot of, and just didn't stop. And also, Morgan, I feel like you'll appreciate this, and it makes a lot of sense. It was her form of trauma processing, that she lost so many people, that this was a physical way for her to stay busy, remain in control.
Yes.
And have something to kind of blank out on, which I feel like is probably the most logical explanation of all of this.
That was my thinking, listening to the story. People process trauma in very, to us, strange ways. Mm-hmm. But to everyone, their behavior makes sense, right? And they didn't have grief counseling in the 1800s. They didn't have, just psychotherapy, really.
Support groups. They didn't have shit.
Right. And
like the dancing plague, they didn't even have weed.
Right.
Come on.
So it sounds like there's other vices she could have turned to that she didn't. Most people probably do, like alcohol and other substances. And her way to process trauma, like you said, was to stay busy. And what's very busy and chaotic and takes up all of your senses at all times of the day? Building on your house.
As someone currently remodeling her house, yes, I'm consumed. So I wouldn't have a thought. We're going out of town this weekend. That's in 2 days. Have I thought about anything I'm packing? No, I don't have time for that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I totally understand. Like, the disassociation part of building on and renovating your house, like, you're consumed by it. And you can't think of all the people you've lost if you're always busy.
Right. It's just a way to avoid the grief.
Yes. So what
she has the money to do it.
I was literally about to say that. I was thinking the other day, like, while I was doing this research, like, how much I could get done if I had that much money. It's not, like, you don't even think about it at that point. Right. You're just like, yeah, well, custom windows, sure, 10,000 of them. Let's get it. Yeah. So, like I had mentioned earlier, a lot of the... Okay. It's the 1800s into the early 1900s. We've already established people don't have a whole lot to do other than just, like, survive.
Right. And gossip.
And gossip. So when a very successful... She was philanthropist. She did donate to charities. She actually gave and I think she gave $1 million to another hospital or something like that. She was giving to like environmental agencies, things of that nature. She was a savvy businesswoman, apparently. I mean, she owned half the stock of Winchester, so I mean, she has to do something with that. Anyway.
Right.
So when a successful woman in the late 1800s just kind of appears and starts doing what people think is a weird thing.
Yes.
Rumors start flying.
Yes.
And instead of being like, maybe this woman's going through it, they're like, she's a weirdo talking to ghosts.
Yep.
And she was not well spoken about in the newspapers, which is really interesting that in about the same area, in the exact same time, there was another woman, Miss Hayes, who built a very similar mansion, who was a faith healer, who was into the spiritualist movement. And also, you got to remember, the spiritualist movement is like peaking right now.
Yes.
And she was not spoken about in any ill will at all in the newspapers because her sons owned the newspapers. So I'm wondering now, knowing that knowledge, that it's almost like a scapegoat. Like, oh, don't look at what my mom's doing over here. Look at Miss Winchester. That crazy lady over there.
And you know what? Your comment about the cultural time and like how the spiritualist movement is at its peak, that does make sense for like people to be viewing this behavior through that lens, right? Like the seances and the ghosts and the, everyone was talking about it or believing it at that time.
Well, and you're like, oh, I think it's because she lost her husband. So obviously she's trying to talk to her husband. And it's like, well, what about it just compounds. Like, what about all the people those guns killed? And she got all her money from those guns. And y'all, it was probably just, one source said, quote, her veiling and seclusion were likely due to rheumatoid arthritis and concerns about her appearance. Not like fears of the outside world.
And moving to California would make sense for arthritis because it's warm, it's not humid, it's better for your bones. Like I said,
cold is bad for the bones.
It is. And I just, like, how dare a rich woman be eccentric? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. If I had that much money, I'd be a weird motherfucker.
That is legitimately... I have to
fit into societal norms right now because I'm not rich.
Right. That is legitimately fuck you money. Like,
yes.
She can do whatever she wants.
Yep. So why are these rumors persisting? We already know that like they started during her time in front of her face, and she never defended herself because she's too much of a classy woman for that. She doesn't
have to. She doesn't have to justify herself.
No, she can wipe her tears with her $100 bills. Like, it doesn't matter. Damn. She's like, fuck y'all. But she just was a private woman. And that, well, obviously that doesn't help anything either. But why do these rumors still persist? So the property is wonky.
Yes.
And it's wonky for a variety of reasons. Mostly... it was just kind of piecemeal together. It's a hodgepodge. Even today, it is still a hodgepodge. There's doors that go to nowhere. Like, you open them up and it's just like a wall behind it. And there's staircases that lead to nothing, like to the ceiling. And there's staircases that lead to other staircases that don't go anywhere. And it's got like 2 basements. It's a weird house because it was just built on over 30 something years. And it tends to disorient visitors, obviously.
Right.
And it makes people more susceptible to like interpreting like regular occurrences into like supernatural ones. Because you're like, ooh, was that a shadow around the corner? No, it was just a weird window in the middle of the house. I don't know.
Right.
And things like pareidolia and confirmation bias, because of all the rumors, it gets put in your head that like it's, you know, there's a ghost in here, when really the jury's out.
Yeah.
So obviously the yellow journalism too, even now things are a little bit sensationalized.
Yes.
And
they got to sell the papers.
Ghost tours are offered there now, currently. I will say there was one quote from one of my sources. It's a guy that works there. He says, I've experienced windows slamming shut during meetings as if they were exclamation points on a topic being discussed, doors slowly opening down the hall as I approached, and voices in an adjacent room when I believed I was the only person on site. You never feel alone in the Winchester Mystery House.
Ooh.
Could it be haunted today? I don't know, maybe.
Maybe people like attracted ghosts to it, and that's why it's haunted, because all the ghosts are like, well, okay, well, like, I guess we'll stop by and hang out here. We got plenty of room.
I mean, it could be Miss Winchester herself, because she's,
could be.
I mean, definitely not alive anymore.
Right.
Anyway, so now that we've talked about, you know, that, let's back it up a little bit and continue the story of Miss Winchester.
Okay.
So in 1903, her niece Daisy married Frederick Marriott. Okay. Like, of the Marriotts, I'm curious, but like, sure.
Okay.
And moves out of the house. Just money everywhere.
Yeah.
And then just a few years later, on April 18th of 1906, the Great San Francisco earthquake happened. And it damaged a lot of the mansion.
Oh, man.
The 7-story tower and most of the 4th floor had to be demolished. Now, the home was spared from total destruction because it's built on a floating foundation that allows the structure to move freely, which is impressive. So it survived 1906 and 1989 Loma Prieta earthquakes. So that's amazing. It is said that those earthquakes are the reason for some of those staircases that go to nowhere. Because there was something there before.
I mean, that would make sense. And then they just had to, like, take off that floor because it got damaged by the earthquake.
Yep. At its peak, the house was 7 stories tall. And I believe it is 3 to 4 stories tall
Gotcha.
now. So, in 1910, just a couple of years after that, Sarah purchased a second home in Atherton, so she could be closer to her sister and her niece, Daisy. So she went back and forth between the two homes until her death. And that is important because it is said that, you know, one of the rumors that flew around was if she ever stopped construction on the house, she would die. It's like, well, she didn't even live there full time in the last 12 years of her life. So in 1911, the San Francisco Examiner published an article, and this was the first time it was called the House of Mystery.
Oh, okay.
And this was during Sarah Winchester's time living within the home. So before long, it was known as the Winchester Mystery House, which is what it is referred to today.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1922, on September the 5th, Sarah Winchester passes away in the home in Lanata Villa. It took 36 years of construction, and it just stopped at her death. Now, that same year, it was put in her will. Well, beforehand, it was put in her will that the property had to be sold because she knew none of her relatives could actually afford to maintain the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And Daisy got $3,000 from her aunt and the contents and personal possessions from both of Sarah's homes.
Wow.
And then she lived off the income of a $200,000 trust fund for the remainder of her life.
Okay.
So she was pretty well set up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure other nieces and nephews got things as well, because she had no living children. And not a lot of people, I don't know if this is going to come as a shock to you, there were not a lot of people interested in buying the house.
It's not the most practical of dwellings.
It would make a really weird apartment complex, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But the investors began to divide up the 161 acres. So in 1923, we've got new owners, John and Mamie Brown, and they leased Lanata Villa and its remaining grounds, and they moved into the house.
Okay.
They were drawn in by the gardens, fountains, other open grounds, and they came from a amusement park background. So they wanted to make it into like an amusement park. So they even like plotted out where a roller coaster, they had invented a roller coaster before. Pool, carousel, everything. And what's really weird is the Winchester Mystery House wasn't even like the main focus.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was just going to be an attraction.
It was like, yeah, just like come in if you want, I guess. We live in this house. So the ads in the paper promised dancing, food, games, picnic grounds, all that. So the following June, or the same June, 1923, the 30th, the mansion opened for public tours. Mamie Brown was the first tour guide. And the gardens became Winchester Park. That day, 10,000 people showed up to look at the mansion and take advantage of Winchester Park. They had made a parking lot big enough for 5,000 cars, which in the 20s is a ridiculous amount.
Massive.
They had concession stands, like literally the whole nine. The railroad changed its schedule to accommodate the park opening that day.
Jeez.
They had magic, music, the whole thing. It was an amazing first day. And then the second day, no one came back.
Oh, God.
Apparently, it was too rural of an area.
Yeah.
I mean, the locals were farmers, so they were too busy or couldn't afford to come. And it was kind of just too far away. If somebody wanted to ride a roller coaster, they would just go to the pier in San Francisco. Right. Like, they weren't going to travel all the way out there. So after just a few months, they had liens against them.
Jeez.
But what's crazy is that the locals would just show up and share stories about Sarah and begged to come and see inside. And then they realized that the main moneymaker here was the house.
Yeah.
So they were like, fine, we're going to preserve the house. We're going to have people come and take tours. And that is what kept them afloat. Because so many people were like, ooh, that's spooky Sarah. I got to go inside the house. So by the time that people were coming in, of course, they're perpetuating this story, this legend of, whoa, whatever.
All the ghosts.
Yeah. In 1924, Harry Houdini came to the museum near Halloween night trying to debunk the paranormal stories. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he left with more questions than answers. So that's something.
That's amazing.
And the house in the 30s was promoted as the Winchester Mystery House, and postcards were being created. In 1945, John Brown passes away, and his wife and daughters continue to run the tours. In 1951, Mamie Brown dies, and the house is then passed down to the children. Do you want to know something crazy? Their descendants still own part of the house. Like,
wow.
It's like a corporation now or something like that, but they still are owners of the home.
That's really
cool. So technically, the Winchester house was only I guess somebody built it first. Basically a 2-owner home.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is insane. So in the 1960s, Santa Clara Los Gatos Road was renamed the Winchester Boulevard in her honor. And the surrounding, like, Winchester Park closed, and they built theaters on the property. And they even opened a little wax museum, which I would love to see pictures of that.
Yes.
What are you waxing, guys? Ghosts? So in 1963 is when the Winchester Mystery House was incorporated. And this was basically just to preserve everything on it and making it accessible to future generations. Then in the 70s, they started restorations. So obviously with this house, it's going to take a long ass time.
Oh, yeah.
And they start furnishing several of the rooms. Now, the furniture in the house is not original, but it is period correct.
Okay.
Because Daisy took all the furniture.
Right.
She kept what she wanted and sold the rest. I mean, I don't blame her.
the same.
Yes. So they reinvented the tour. It was the first new tour in over 50 years.
Wow.
In 1974, the house was granted state historic landmark status and was put on the National Register of Historic Places. And then they started flashlight tours in 1983. So they were like, ooh, people want spooky stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they closed down the wax museum for a cafe. I wanted to see the wax people. I'm upset. Now, in 1990, it is named a San Jose City landmark. I think the coolest thing yet is that the parlor hallway was restored in 2016 using the original 130-year-old wallpaper from Sarah Winchester's stockpile.
Wow.
And they've done that in a couple rooms.
How much wallpaper did she just have, like, in a basement somewhere?
I have no idea.
That's amazing, though.
Yes. And Winchester, the film, filmed in 2018, was released. And it was filmed in the Winchester house with Helen Mirren. Is it Mirren?
Yeah, it's Mirren.
As Sarah. So, and they are still continuing to do ongoing renovations. Apparently in September of 2019, workers were like moving a wall or opening part of a wall, and they found a perfectly preserved envelope in the wall from the Pacific American Decorative Company. And there were rumors that the windows were made by Tiffany, but this letter proves that it wasn't Tiffany. It was the Pacific American Decorative Company that custom made the windows, which is just cool to know. Yeah. So they're still finding new discoveries as they restore this house. And it is so still open. You can take tours. You can go look at it. I would love, if we ever make it to California.
Emily, we have to go. We have to see the Winchester house.
Oh my God. Hey, we did say next year's spooky thing was going to be out of state. You think the family would let us go to California? So guys, I need you to share all of this and promote our podcast so we can make enough money to go to the Winchester house.
Yes, please.
Please do. And again, is there a possibility the house is haunted? Probably. It's like a 150-year-old house. So deaths have happened.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot of staff. There was a lot of things going on. Mm-hmm. She herself died in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the ghosts of all the people who died looking down the barrel of a Winchester? Probably not.
Probably not.
It just seemed like a very expensive coping mechanism.
That's how I kind of view it. But I mean, we'll never
Yeah.
know for sure. We can't ever know for sure.
No.
Unless
we built a time machine.
and asked
Could we
her.
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. We'll do a seance. And we'll just channel Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to her house. We'll do a seance. We'll be like, I have questions, ma'am. Do you mind? Ta-da.
And she'll be like, I didn't answer your questions in my lifetime. I'm not answering them in my death.
Yeah. Rude. That's what the planchette will spell Rude. Rude. F off.
MINDYOBEESWAX.
Mind your beeswax. Oh my God. I will say that is actually one of my favorite lines as a parent is when one of my children are not doing that. I'll just ask them, are you minding your own business? And they'll go, no. Yeah, mind your own business.
Don't be nosy, even though
Don't be nosy.
I am so nosy.
Yeah. Leave your brother alone. Mind your own business. This does not pertain to you, and I could make it pertain to you, but you're not going to like the outcome. So Go on somewhere. That's Sarah right now. Go on somewhere.
Yep.
Mind your own business. Get out of my house.
Let me wander my rooms in peace.
If you need me, I'll be in a different bedroom every night. So guys, if you're in California, go see this house for us. Send us pictures.
Please do.
Make us jealous.
Yes. And we'll go out there at some point eventually one day.
Yeah. Eventually. Yeah. I mean, that's all I have. So.
Well, this was amazing. Thank you.
Yay!
I was super excited when you said you were covering the Winchester house. It's perfect for spooky season.
Yeah. I did hear this a couple years ago I had heard of it before, but I heard it on this Paranormal Life podcast. They also gave it a double no, so I was like, I feel vindicated that I saw the research. It was like, it's a double no. It is.
Yeah, it's just a eccentric lady's house.
Good for her. I'm telling you, I'd be way weirder than this. Is a beautiful house. It's very well done. She honestly was very revolutionary in her building techniques. She had, I mean, like I said, one of the first to have electricity in the area, and especially in a house that big, that's incredible. But she had very sustainable building techniques and was very mindful of how her building affected the environment around her and things of that nature. So, I mean, she's applauded for being very ahead of her time in that nature.
Yeah.
She's awesome. We should do socials.
Let's do socials.
All right. Well, if you like this and you'll want to see more of our faces, because you're seeing 0 of our faces right now, but if you want to see our faces, you can see that on Facebook,
Ill-Equipped History podcast group and page,
Instagram,
at Ill-Equipped History,
TikTok,
at Ill-Equipped History,
Gmail,
ill-equippedhistory@gmail.com,
and Patreon.
Patreon.com/ill-equippedhistory.
Do not forget that if you sign up in the month of October, you get free spooky stickers. That's October exclusive, and all our other stickers.
Yes.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it. Get the exclusive sticker.
And you get like 25 bonus episodes. and
That's
counting.
so many.
So many.
That is like several days
doing
worth.
it that long. Yeah, a lot of times we get even more rambly. Not rambly. They're longer. I don't know how, but they're longer.
There's a lot more banter.
Yeah. Mostly about my hams. I'll never forget that.
That's a callback.
Oh, jeez. I'm telling you. If you find the hams episode, you've gone way back.
That was like our second or third one.
Yeah. Still a good one. Never been to Aldi the same again.
No.
No. Never worn those shorts to Aldi again. Anyway, you know what? Whether you're haunted by the ghosts of the past or not, if you have that much money, do shit with it. You might as well.
Yeah. You can be eccentric and build a crazy house and also follow in Sarah's footsteps and be like a wonderful philanthropist and helping your community and all that.
Weird and helpful. I love it.
That's the best combination.
As long as you're nice weird. Don't be mean weird. Nobody likes mean weird. Be nice weird.
Yeah.
But be weird.
Be
because that's fuck you money.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.